Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to finish part 2 of A Castle on Viola Street. Remember, we're looking at context clues, things that help us in sentences and paragraphs and pages to help us understand or comprehend what we're reading. We're also looking at the overall theme, idea, or topic of the story, what it's teaching us. So let's get started. You're going to watch this slideshow, A Castle on Viola Street, Part 2, and then you're going to return to 3 slides again today, slide number 6, 9, and 11, and answer the questions in complete sentences. Our vocabulary words, again this week, are appliances, small machines or devices that have a particular use, owners, people who possess something, construction, the act or process of building something, project, a plan or proposal, equipment, anything that is provided for a special purpose or use, and leaky, having a hole or small opening that water, light, or air can get through. Okay, A Castle on Viola Street, Part 2. A recap of our story so far. Our narrator, Andy, tells his parents about a meeting for people who want to own their own homes. After Andy's parents attend the meeting, they decide to help fix a house that has been boarded up for a long time. Another family will get the house, but in time, a house may be fixed up for Andy's family. They spend time on weekends working on the house.
Most people on the block were happy about the project, but other people were not. The lady next door said, "No banging before 9 o'clock." Some people laughed and said out loud, "Who would want a house in a neighborhood like this?" But my father would smile and whisper to me, "Sometimes new things are hard to get used to and people are slow to change." On the weekends, when our family showed up, a leader called out the assignments. "Everyone here will have a special job to do," she said. My mother scraped wallpaper off crusty walls that crumbled like toast. My father and I worked together. He lifted up old linoleum tiles by sliding a cat hammer underneath. My job was to carefully hammer down nails on the floorboards when he was through. Some volunteers, like us, hoped to have a house one day. "We're looking forward to living in a place without broken windows and leaky pipes," Mr. and Mrs. Rivera said. My father said he couldn't wait to have a house that would have heat all winter.
Okay. So what jobs, who did what jobs? So on the previous page, what jobs did the people do while they were working in the house? What did mother do? What did father do? And what did Andy do? You're going to complete each of those boxes.
My sisters were still too young to help with all the construction. But my mother told them, being little is no excuse not to pitch in. She had them squeeze juice from bags of lemons to make fresh lemonade. Then they took turns pouring and passing the cups around. At the end of the day, there was always a lot of sweeping to do. "I've never seen so much dust in my life," Mrs. Tran said, covering her nose. My mother held a dustpan while I pushed the broom. My sisters giggled whenever they saw me wearing my safety mask. On Saturday nights, I'd be so tired I'd practically fall asleep right after supper. "You're doing good work," my father would say. And he'd thank me for helping our family. He'd say, "Big dreams are built little by little, and we are making a start." In those 4 months, I learned a lot about putting things together. Once I even found a piece of wood that my father said I could keep. I thought that maybe I could use it to make something on my own. One day Mr. Tran gave everyone some news. The new house would be theirs. Everything is beautiful, Mrs. Tran said. She stood smiling inside the framed front door. She watched her daughter paint the big front room. The kitchen had shiny linoleum floors and brand new appliances. There even was a washing machine. Upstairs was a bathroom and 3 carpeted bedrooms. Out back, there was a place for a garden. When the Tran family moved in, they threw a potluck supper. My father and I took care to make something extra special that night. Since I've been promoted to cook, I like to whip up a storm, he said. We not only celebrated the Tran families being the owners of their new home, but we also celebrated because we knew we were one house closer to our dream.
All right, what happens next? What happened next? Incomplete sentence. After the Tran family moved into their new home, what happened? What did they just do? Okay, and what do you think that means maybe for Andy's family? All right, remember to answer in complete sentences.
Things were really changing on Viola Street now. This neighborhood looks like it's shaping up, the lady at the Soap and Go said. Volunteers were working on 2 more empty houses, and of course the Trans next door didn't mind when we wanted to get to work early. This fall our family was notified that we'd be working on our own house next spring. Number 146 Viola Street. Whenever we pass it, my mother says, I can imagine it finished already. I've already got my bedroom picked out. It's the one with the window by the yard. During the winter, I made a birdhouse from my piece of wood and gave it to my mother. My mother was more than pleased about that. She said, thanks to me, now even the birds would have a nice little place to call home. I used to dream that we had $1 million to buy a house of our own. But in real life, all it cost us was a lot of hard work. Anyway, it seems to me like all the money in the world couldn't buy us what we have now on Viola Street. It's just as my father says, big dreams are built little by little, and we have made a start.
Okay, so fun little story. And the theme right there in that last sentence. Sometimes you dream about having something happen and it takes time. And it also takes a little bit of hard work and determination on your point. But never give up on your dreams, no matter what. I think this young man learned a lot of lessons. Working together, helping others, you can achieve your own dreams also. You're going to go to slide 11 now. A life changed. Answer in complete sentences. How had the family's life changed from the beginning of the story to the end now? And what does the family learn in the story from helping another family build a home? All right, that's all for now.